I woke up the next morning back in my own bed. My mum brought me breakfast, a toasted bagel with cream cheese, and asked if that tall, handsome guy who drove me home last night was my boyfriend. What the hell? Total non sequitur. I shut that down immediately. Still, it was weird. Ezra and I hadn't seen each other in 7 or 8 years. How did he even know where I lived now? My phone buzzed mid-bite. Cooper's name lit up the screen. I answered, but it was Carter's voice on the other end. "Hey, are you feeling better after last night?" she asked. "Yeah, thanks for checking," I replied. "It's my birthday today. Come catch a movie with me and my brother." Her tone was impossibly sincere. The thought of Cooper just annoyed me. That man had barely looked my way at the alumni gala yesterday. "My brother feels bad about not spending enough time with you lately. He's sorry, but he's never been good at expressing it, so he asked me to set this up." Carter's voice was smooth and velvety, the kind of tone that could charm the paint off a wall. "Fine. Text me the time and place. Great. See you there." After I hung up, I washed my face, brushed my teeth, and went full throttle on my appearance. I applied a bold, dramatic makeup look and slipped into that vibrant floral wrap dress I'd never had the guts to wear before. I'm not sure why, maybe because Carter and I share a similar aesthetic, but I always felt this itch to one-up her. When I arrived, however, the strategy backfired. Carter was wearing a simple, elegant white silk slip dress. Her hair was perfectly tousled, and she wore barely any makeup. She looked like an absolute ingenue. Me? Between my silhouette and the war paint on my face, I felt like a try-hard mess. I was standing there awkwardly when Cooper walked up, juggling 2 tubs of popcorn and 2 large sodas. He stared at me, genuinely shocked. "What are you doing here? Didn't you ask me to come celebrate your sister's birthday?" I frowned. "Bro." Carter looked up at him, her eyes brimming with sudden tears. Cooper sighed, his jaw tightening as he ran a hand through his hair. "Yeah, I did. Let's go." He shoved the popcorn and sodas into my arms, then draped his arm around Carter's shoulder and headed into the theatre. I stood there, staring at their retreating backs. A cold, weird feeling twisted in my gut. Their dynamic, it was off. I just couldn't put my finger on why. The movie was a total snooze. I was out cold within 5 minutes, my hand still clutching the armrest. My head slipped off the seat back, and I jolted awake. In the dim glow from the screen, I saw it. Carter was fast asleep in Cooper's arms. He was stroking her hair with such agonizing tenderness before pressing a soft kiss to the tips of her strands. My brain short-circuited. I had to be hallucinating. I rubbed my eyes hard, too hard. My elbow jabbed right into Cooper's shoulder. He turned, his gaze instantly sharp and guarded. "You're up?" he whispered. "Yeah." His expression went blank, completely unreadable. It had to be my imagination. He showed zero interest in me. Of course, my paranoid head was seeing things that weren't there. After leaving the theatre, the 3 of us wandered through the mall. Carter took a shine to a Chanel dress, but the moment she caught sight of the $2,500 price tag, she hung it back on the rack and waved Cooper off before he could reach for his wallet. Once we'd finished window shopping, Cooper checked his watch. He mentioned that his parents were expecting him and Carter back for a birthday celebration. "Can I tag along?" I asked, testing the waters. After all, I was his girlfriend. Meeting the parents was just the logical next step. I kept that thought to myself, hoping he'd pick up on the hint. He didn't. He shut me down without a second of hesitation. I stood there, watching the siblings walk away, and felt like an absolute outsider. Just then, my phone buzzed. I pulled it from my bag and frowned. It was Ezra. "How did you even get my number?" I asked, genuinely shocked. A magician never reveals his secrets, he chuckled. What do you want? Have you and Cooper made up yet? His voice sounded surprisingly sincere. Not yet, I muttered, my shoulders slumping. You have to fight for your own happiness, Anya, he said, his tone half teasing. Otherwise, once you miss your chance, you'll end up like me. Oh, do tell, I said, my interest piqued. I don't know you well enough for that. And just like that, he hung up. Men, they're all the same. A surge of frustration washed over me, but Ezra was right about one thing. Happiness isn't something you wait for. You have to take it. I glanced at the Chanel dress in the window, and a plan began to form. I bought the dress and drove straight to the gated community where Cooper lived. Regardless of our recent friction, nobody turns down a peace offering, right? My plan was simple. Show up with a belated birthday gift for Carter. It was the perfect excuse to get inside, meet his parents, and finally cement my place in his life. Cooper was a dream on paper, no scandals, no vices, successful and refined. As for his emotional distance, since the specialists had ruled out any physiological issues, I figured I just needed to be more assertive. Eventually, those walls would come down. I pulled into the driveway and caught a glimpse of a couple standing by the entrance, locked in a heated embrace. The man's hands were starting to wander. I rolled my eyes. It was disgraceful, the way some people lacked any sense of decorum. Plus, that girl's frame was scrawny. What was there even to hold on to? Doing this in broad daylight was beyond crass. I briefly considered dragging Cooper over to watch, hoping to provoke a little bit of romance between us, but as I stepped closer, I froze. My breath hitched. The two figures, tangled together, kissing with reckless abandonment, were none other than Cooper and Carter.